important that we read this because it has to do with something extraordinary. And because of the fact that the Jade helm map is so similar to the new Aztlan gold map. Going on with the article, for years there have been ongoing hostilities culminating in a rash of illegal immigration and ongoing terrorism on the border. While there are many troublesome issues, new attitudes on both sides of the conflict may mean that peace is finally at hand. The new status quo will probably look very much like a proposition made by the new Aztlan advocates like Mecca, the prominent American academics, tempered with the peace plan promoted by Mexican President Calderón. Other Latin American countries have endorsed the plan. What the Aztlanistas want is final status on the state of their own with contiguous borders. New Aztlan to consist of the American territories of California, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. The capital of the new regime will be, of course, traditionally Aztlanista Los Angeles. Florida is not in the new Aztlan map. All New Mexican settlements and American settlers would be evacuated outside these borders to the original pre-1836 U.S. borders with some modifications, perhaps to reflect demographics. Part of the Northern California, for instance, would be traded for land in the southern Nevada, eastern Louisiana, Colorado, or Utah as part of a final agreement. The key demand for the Mexicans and the Aztlanistas is justice for the defendants of the refugees and their descendants dating from the original American-Mexican conflict. They want a full right of return for these refugees and their descendants to Mexican land still in the hands of the U.S. The plan supporters insist upon a right to settle in the U.S. for those Mexicans dubbed illegal aliens who have been victimized by what both the Mexicans and the Aztlanistas denounce as the apartheid border wall and restrictive U.S.
Isn't that the same thing that's going on in Israel, the apartheid between them and Palestine?
1. The agreement must have a deadline for implementation. 2. All checkpoints within New Aztlan, especially on the current borders, are to be removed to allow the Aztlanistas freedom of movement.
It's his time.
U.S. occupation of New Aztlan must end during the interim before the final settlement agreement is implemented. The Aztlanistas are also demanding full sovereignty and control over historic U.S. sites like the Grand Canyon, the Alamo, and Yosemite. An important part of the agreement is that all Mexican and Aztlanista prisoners currently in American custody, who the Aztlanistas consider to be freedom fighters, will be repatriated to Aztlanista territory. In exchange for this, the Mexicans, Latin American nations, and Aztlanistas promised to recognize the remainder of the American territory as sovereign United States.